All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight I wanted to do something just a little bit different than what we normally do, where we go through tools and stuff like that. What I wanted to do tonight, in lieu of all this drone and UFO bullshit going on in the world right now, I thought to myself, where did I put my drone? I knew I had one. My employer, actually, every year they send out these little Christmas cards with a QR code, and you can scan that and go to a website and pick through this Christmas list, and you can order yourself a gift, and they vary in price, and I've gotten a backpack and other shit. But in 2022 I ordered this drone because I figured, like, I'm not paying for it, so I might as well take advantage of it. And so it's the little DJI Tello. It's a great little quadcopter thing. It's got a camera on it, and it's a lot of fun. You just control it with your phone. It's simple to fly. And what I wanted to do with it was make a nice display stand to keep this thing on when I'm not using it. So stick around, we'll go through that process, and yeah, here we go. Now, one great little thing about this drone is that it has these rubber feet underneath each motor. So what I'm thinking is those rubber feet will be great for securing the drone into the stand, because I don't want it to just sit flat on the display stand. I do want it to be angled a little bit, and these little rubber feet will fit into some corresponding slots on the stand and just stop it from sliding off. Let's grab our caliper and I'll take some measurements. Now all I want to do is measure the space between these little feet. So I'm just going to switch this to inches. Hopefully that will work for us. And we'll see what we have here. Say about 3 3/4 by 3 1/2. Okay, so now we have the pad for the copter and the base for the entire stand. Pad for the drone is 4 1/2 by 4 1/2, and the base for the stand is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And don't sleep on these small area sanding sponges. These things are phenomenal for shaping wood and for knocking off those rough edges. Of course, this will get a final sand with a much higher grit sandpaper before we stain and clear coat. We can obviously see where this is going now. We've got all of our pieces cut. We've got them shaped how we want them. Initially, I was going to route them with just a simple round over bit, but I figured that's a bit extreme for this simple little stand. We're just going to be putting the quadcopter on it. It's going to sit on a bookshelf. So with that, I just decided to use those sanding blocks just to round over these corners a little bit, make them a little less aggressive. And then, like I said, we'll use a much finer grit sandpaper for our finish. These pieces will stack up, and the drone will sit right on top of it. So next, we want to map out where those little rubber feet underneath each drone motor will sit. We will get our drone, we'll sit it down. If it looks good, it is good. I'm not going to obsess over measuring and getting this precisely. I'm going to look at this thing overhead and judge that it's sitting relatively centered on that pad. And then I'm going to make an outer mark on each foot. The only reason I took measurements initially of the space between the feet was so that I could make sure I cut a pad for the top that was the appropriate size. I had any more fucking bit cases, my head would fall off. Fuck, that's supposed to go, but fuck it. The fuck are these bits even called? Now, to keep the concave shape that the feet on the drone have, I'm going to be using these countersink bits. And there we have it. So those recessions for the rubber feet to set into have been successfully drilled out. As you can see, fits like a glove. So now that we've indicated the center on each one of our pieces, the next decision that has to be made is how to attach this to this. What I do not want to have is a fastener that can be seen from the top of the pad. So after thinking for a little bit about how to attach this, I'm feeling just doing a pocket hole and seeing how that works out. Now let's drill the hole in the base for the lights. Now for lighting on the base, I'm going to be using these small LED lights. I went with green. I just think it kind of gives like that added UFO-y vibe to the drone stand. What I think I'm going to do is take some of these 10mm bolts. They're going to be painted black. I'm going to pre-drill a few slots in the bottom of the base, and these will fit in there, and they will act as feet to hold the base up off the ground. Now, through the magic of editing, you guys didn't have to watch me sand this thing down again and go through all that nonsense. As you can see, we have the base attached to the rest of the stand. It has been sanded with 220 and 320, and now I am at a bit of a crossroads. Do I just hit it with a coat of clear coat and call it a day, or do I really go through all the trouble of pre-stain conditioning, staining, letting it dry, clear coating, let that dry? I really don't think this requires that much effort. Let's get these lights installed. To hold the lights in place, to secure them, we're going to be very, very, very simple here. So if this type of thing offends you, you should look away. And I already know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, Jesus Christ, Kevin, this is some janky ass shit you're putting together here. You're absolutely right. So now we have added the feet to the project. As you can see, I've just used few nuts to lock them in place so they can't move. Adjusted it to make sure it's not wobbling around. There it is. So I have come to a decision. I'm just going to clear coat this thing. Well guys, here it is with the lights off completely. I did hit the entire thing with just some rattle can gloss clear. And yeah, I have to say, I think it's going to look really, really cool in the man cave. Just the drone is obviously sitting on top of it now. I will turn the light on in a minute so you can get a better look at it, but I just wanted to kind of get the effect of the lighting that's put in it. I also put some metal tape underneath just to give it a little bit of a reflection, just to kind of bask that green light out. But yeah, for throwing something together in about an hour's time, I think it's kind of cool, honestly. Well, if you guys are still here and have subjected yourselves to this entire video, I do appreciate it. Like I said, it was great to just kind of just fall back a little bit and do something sort of mindless.